Hi guys, Chris here back with another video. So today's video guys, I'm going to talk about weight loss. When do I weigh myself? How much weight loss should you expect to see? But first of all, let me show you my breakfast today.
So this is my breakfast here, guys. As you can see, so I have a large spunter potato. I have cherry tomatoes. I have chicory, great source of vitamin E. I have a nice sugary fig for a little dessert. I know you can't see, but underneath I have some pak choy. And then on top I've got nutritional yeast with black pepper, red wine vinegar, and I'm going to add some salt to that. And over here I have a nice cup of hibiscus tea, which is a great source of antioxidants to have.
So guys, as you can see, this is my chronometer, so I'm just going to show you the food. So for breakfast, as soon as I woke up, I had some B12, I had some water, I weighed myself, so I've actually lost more weight, thankfully. I'm quite happy about that. I had some more water, I went to the shops, got some shopping done, and for breakfast, so as you can see guys, this is my breakfast. So even though that looks like a very large volume, it's only 544 calories, which isn't a lot in reality. So if we now scroll down, we can see my macronutrient content. So let me click on it. So it's only 87.6% carbs, only 3.3% fat, and 9.1% protein. And then if we go down, so in this one meal here alone, guys, I've met 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've met 9 of my vitamin and mineral requirements already. The reason why I say 9 instead of 10 is that B12 is obviously met with by the B12 pills and not the actual food itself. And then throughout the day, I'll easily smash all these other targets as well, like I do every single day. So that's basically it, guys. As you can see, a starch-based breakfast is very nutritious, very high density vitamins and minerals, and it's really easy to get everything you need. So let's see how much insulin I'm going to have. So what I do, guys, to work out my insulin is quite simply come down to net carbs, and then I subtract the fructose. So if we just get a calculator, so I'll just do 96.6 minus 12.4, enter. So it's 84.2 grams. So because it's the morning, I can be ever so slightly more insulin resistant in the morning. So I'm gonna say divide that by 3 units. So I'm gonna call it 3 units of Nova Rapid for a ratio of 1 to 25, 1 to 28. I noticed the weekends I'm not as insulin sensitive as when I'm in work, when I've got more of a routine going. My blood sugar's gonna be ever so slightly higher. So that's basically why I use just a little bit more insulin. Let's see what my blood sugars are today. So I don't know how well you can see that, guys. So as you can see, guys, it's 5.4 millimoles, and I'm gonna just have 3 units of Nova Rapid, and I'm gonna smash this video. I'm gonna smash this breakfast down, and then I'll come back and get into the video. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see other things like that from me again in the future. Did you enjoy seeing my breakfast and a little segment on Chronometer? So guys, first tip is this. I would say if you're going to weigh yourself, do it first thing in the morning after you've had a pee in first thing in the morning. Now the reason why is, guys, if you weigh yourself at any other time, like in the afternoon or the evening, you can actually end up weighing potentially 5 to 7 pounds more in weight. Throughout the day you can end up retaining a lot more fluid. You can easily eat 4 to 5 pounds of food in a day. So if you, for example, if I personally were to weigh myself in the afternoon, I could easily end up weighing 5 pounds heavier on the scales, because I've had my breakfast by then and I've had my dinner, which are a couple of pounds each. I've probably drunk 3 or 4 pounds of water, or something along those lines. So as you can see, the food that we eat and the water that we drink can actually shift our weight dramatically one way or the other. So I think weighing yourself first thing in the morning after you've had a morning pee, before you drink any water, it just gives you a more accurate baseline and allows you to see changes more gradually. It basically removes those variables, so it gives you a more accurate picture of whether you're losing weight or not. Whereas if you should weigh yourself, say in the afternoon after you've had a couple of meals already, if you have lost weight, fat, and by weight I mean specifically fat, then the meals that you're eating could actually potentially hide that fact somewhat. Because of the variability. So if you want to see accurate weight loss on the scales, do it first thing in the morning after you've woken up and had your morning pee. And what I'd say is, guys, is this: be patient. It didn't take you 5 minutes to get to where you are. It's not going to take you 5 minutes to get back to where you need to be. And that's something I've had to learn the hard way. I spent most of my life overweight, struggling. I would yo-yo a lot. Go from being overweight to being healthy, well, healthy-ish, and then going back because I was eating animal products and foods which aren't good for me. And it's only now that I'm on a high carb, low fat vegan diet that I've got a healthy BMI, and since I've started following Dr. McDougall instead, or for the starch solution, extremely well educated, well experienced doctor with results to back up what he's saying, as well as the science. It's only since I started following his advice more and focusing on starch that I've started to lose weight. And one of the reasons why is, I think, is because starch is just much more nutritionally dense. When you're eating let's say fruit for breakfast and fruit for dinner, there isn't as high a concentration of vitamins and minerals in that. And one thing I noticed is, before I started eating in sort of the starch solution, is that prior to that, is if I would eat large meals of fruit, when I would then in the evening time, I would then end up eating a really massive meal. I could end up eating 1,000 or sometimes 1,500 calories of starch. And I think part of the reason why that is because the fruits and don't have as much vitamins and minerals in, and your body needs them. Come the evening, the night time, you just sort of subconsciously, without making a conscious decision to do this, you just end up eating way more calories to get that nutrition into your body, to get those vitamins in, to get those minerals in. So if you instead eat starch, for breakfast, for dinner, as well as the evening time, you're going to get way more vitamins and minerals in there much sooner. So for example, I could meet all of the nutritional needs on Cronometer, vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acids, on probably about 1,800 calories. Now, then, I'm not saying I only eat 1,800 calories, but what I'm trying to illustrate to you is the fact that the more nutrients dense food you eat, the less calories you probably end up eating without realizing, because your body's going to be much more satisfied. So what I kind of sort of focus on is starch. So sweet potatoes for breakfast and dinner. And when I say dinner, for those of you in America, where in the Isle of Man, dinner and lunch is the same thing. And what you guys call dinner, which is your evening meal, we call tea. It's just a little bit different. So I have potatoes every single day for breakfast, every single day for for dinner. Afternoon meal. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram at High Carb Jedi if you want to see what I eat every single day. Put plenty of pictures up there as evidence of what I'm eating. And then along with that, what I do is I have lots of raw vegetables. So I have, yellow bell peppers, red bell peppers, spring onions, pak choi, chicory, etc. I have 2 Brazil nuts for breakfast to get the selenium, etc. I have loads of red wine and vinegar for insulin sensitivity. And easily by the evening, I've smashed all of those vitamin mineral requirements, and I definitely feel way more satisfied. I feel like I don't have to eat as much. I don't feel driven as much to consume as many calories because my body's getting what it needs. So what I'd say to you guys is, if you want to lose more weight, focus on more nutrient dense foods while keeping it high carb, low fat. Because as Dr. McDougall says, the fat you eat is the fat you wear, and also the fat you eat is the fat that causes insulin resistance. So if you're diabetic, you want to keep your fat as low as possible on a whole food diet. So keep it to no more than, say, 10% of calories a day. And like I said, guys, before, you've got to be patient about weight loss, because it didn't take you 5 minutes to get there. It's not going to take you 5 minutes to lose it. It's going to take time. And one of the big reasons for that, guys, is a pound of fat is roughly 3,500 to 4,000 calories, in that range roughly. And when your basal metabolic rate is only about, for the average person watching this, 1800 calories, and what that means is your basal metabolic rate, or BMR, it's basically the sum total of all of the different metabolic processes which take place in your body every single day. So it's the energy cost for your body to do all of the work it does every single day, excluding exercise, so like bike riding and walking. So when you only have a BMR then of say 1800 calories a day, and it takes 3,500 to 4,000 calories to burn a pound of fat, you can see how easily it can take a long time to lose fat. It isn't this big gradual drop off. It can be very it's not this big steep drop in weight. It can be very, very gradual, and that's what I've noticed. And you need to be patient, guys, and realize that it is going to take time. And what I'd say is, don't punish yourself if your weight loss is slow. Too many people, they mentally punish themselves when their weight loss isn't fast enough. They tell themselves, I'm not doing it right, and I need to starve myself, or I need to do this, or I need to do that, or they'll feel bad about themselves as people. And what I want you to realize, if you're watching this and you're overweight, don't feel bad because your weight loss is slow. The important thing is that you are losing weight, and if you're losing weight currently, good job, pat yourself on the back, and you should feel really happy about that. But what you should do is always ask yourself, what could I be doing better? So don't approach it in like a really negative, punishing mindset, but be kind to yourself, and almost pat yourself on the back for losing weight, but then ask yourself, well, I'm doing really good right now. I'm losing weight. I'm making this. Sorry, my memory card just got a bit full, and so I had to just delete some things. So the important thing is that you're going in the right direction, which is your weight is going down. Instead, just ask yourself, well, I'm doing really well at the moment. What else can I do to improve this? And there's always things that we can do to improve it. So, for example, some things that I'm doing at the moment, guys, is that I'm focusing on trying to not eat food after 7 p.m. Now then, I think I may have picked up on this from either Dr. Doug Lisle or Dr. Rhonda Patrick or Dr. Ray Cronise. I can't remember which one of them. And basically they talked about how, if you think about it, at night time we all tend to eat all this food, but then we just sit around and then we go to sleep, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. We have all this food in ourselves, and it's feasible to think our body's more likely to store that as fat. And if we're trying to lose fat, obviously we need to kind of ease off on that. So what I've basically started doing is I've sort of set like a mental cut-off where I try not to eat any food after 7 to 8 p.m. If I go out for a bike ride and I don't get home till after that, or by the time I get my food made, it's after that, well, I'm going to eat. But it's definitely something I've focused on, and I definitely think that the last 2 pounds or so I've lost, perhaps that played a part in it. And what I'm going to try and start doing is perhaps listen to my body a bit more, because there are plenty of times when I eat food and I'm not feeling hungry at all. And Ray Cronise, who's like a weight loss expert, so he deals in like thermogenesis, basically doing fasting and a lot of like cold work, basically getting your body extremely cold and teaching it to burn fat and different things like that. And he's also like a fasting expert. And just to clarify, I'm not fasting here. I'm not advocating crazy fasts or anything like that. But there are times when I'll go and eat a meal, but I honestly could have gone to bed without eating any food at all, and I would have felt fine. And we get into this sort of routine. I think it's part of like our culture that we must eat 3 meals a day, and if we don't, we'll almost like disintegrate. And it's like, well, do we really need to be that way? If you look in nature, animals will naturally have periods of like fasting where they may not have food. you know, for a while. I mean, human beings can be the same as well. You know, I don't think we necessarily need to eat 3 meals every single day. Now, I'm not advocating, you know, starvation or calorie restriction as such. I'm just saying that, you know, perhaps, you know, is a weight loss strategy that, you know, if we're not feeling hungry and we're feeling like we don't need to eat any food, perhaps that's because our body's satisfied and, you know, it's received all the nutrients it needs throughout the day. For example, there could be a day in work where because I'm sat down all day, by, you know, my afternoon meal, I've pretty much got nearly all the nutrients my body needs. When I come home at night, do I really need, you know, that meal every single night? And I definitely feel sometimes I don't need it. So what I'm going to try and do is perhaps, you know, not have an evening meal every single time. You know, it might be once a week or something where I'll just go without, just listen to my body. And but yeah, that's basically it, guys. So I mean, I just wanted to do like a video on weight loss. You know, if you're watching this, you know, and you're trying to lose weight, you know, don't be harsh on yourself, don't punish yourself. You know, focus on eating, you know, a high carb, low fat, whole food diet, no processed junk food, no oils. Keep the fat low. Try and move your body every single day, whether it's walking or cycling. You know, try to keep your, you know, don't eat any food after 7 p.m. if you can. You know, things like that. But most of all, you know, don't be harsh on yourself. You know, you're not a bad person because you're not losing weight as fast as someone else. You're not a bad person because, you know, you're not as lean as someone else. It's not about that. It's about, you know, all of us doing the little things, changing little things every single day so that we can, you know, lose a bit, you know, a bit more, you know, excess fat. And, you know, for me, it isn't, well, how can I put this? I mean, I do want to like lose more, like a little bit more fat and a little bit more weight, so, you know, just look perhaps a little bit better in myself, be a bit lighter, but also for the health reasons. You know, less fat we have, the lower our cancer risks. You know, a lot of our fat, even as vegans, is fat from when we were non-vegans, and within that fat can be contained, you know, a lot of different chemicals and carcinogens, something that Ray Cronise talked about on the Ritual podcast a while ago, I think, if you want to check that out. And so by losing our fat, we lose all these different chemicals and toxins, and it just has many benefits. So I hope this was useful. Sorry if it's a bit of a long video. Sorry if it's a bit of a rant, a bit of a ramble. I hope you found some, you know, use in it. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I just sort of ranted and rambled on. But I hope it was useful anyway. So until next time, God bless as always, and remember, always go high carb, low fat, low protein, high fiber, whole food, plant-based vegan, and take your weight loss, you know, easy. Don't punish yourself. If you're losing weight, you know, you're doing good. It's as simple as that. Bye bye, guys. And for breakfast, so as you can see, guys, this is my breakfast. So even though that looks like a very large volume, it's only 544 calories, which isn't a lot in reality. So if we now scroll down, we can see my macronutrient content. So let me click on it. So it's only 87.6% carbs, only 3.3% fat, and 9.1% protein. And then if we go down, so in this one meal here alone, guys, I've met 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hi guys, Chris here, back with another video. So today's video, guys, I'm going to talk about weight loss. You know, when do I weigh myself? How much weight loss should you expect to see? But first of all, let me show you my breakfast today.
So this is my breakfast here, guys, as you can see. So I have a large spunta potato, I have cherry tomatoes, I have chicory, great source of vitamin E, I have a nice sugary fig for a little dessert. I know you can't see, but underneath I have some pak choy, and then on top I've got nutritional yeast with black pepper, red wine vinegar, and I'm going to add some salt to that. And over here I have a nice cup of hibiscus tea, which is a great source of antioxidants to have. So guys, as you can see, this is my chronometer, so I'm just going to show you the food. So for breakfast, as soon as I woke up, I had some B12, I had some water, I weighed myself, so I've actually lost more weight, thankfully. I'm quite happy about that. I had some more water, I went to the shops, got some shopping done.
I've met 9 of my vitamin and mineral requirements already. The reason why I say 9 instead of 10 is that B12 is obviously met with by the B12 pills and not the actual food itself. And then throughout the day, I'll easily smash all these other targets as well, like I do every single day. So that's basically it, guys. As you can see, a starch-based breakfast is very nutritious, very high density vitamins and minerals, and it's really easy to get everything you need. So let's see how much insulin I'm going to have. So what I do, guys, to work out my insulin is quite simply come down to net carbs, and then I subtract the fructose. So if we just get a calculator, so I'll just do 96.6 minus 12.4, enter. So it's 84.2 grams. So because it's the morning, I can be ever so slightly more insulin resistant in the morning. So I'm gonna say divide that by 3 units. So I'm gonna call it 3 units of Nova Rapid for a ratio of 1 to 25, 1 to 28. I noticed the weekends I'm not as insulin sensitive